Important notice. The USPTO has issued an office action for application serial number 775477157, Captain Superhero. So someone is challenging my trademark for Captain Superhero. Has someone before me trademarked the name Captain Superhero? Well, let's find out who they are and what they've got. Okay. Trademark application 77 whatever, Captain Superhero. Let's see what they got. The trademark here is the words superhero. Well, someone who has trademarked the words superhero in 2 words. Let's see who they are. DC Comics and Marvel. These idiots, I guess they're co-owners of the words superhero. What's next? Superheroes, plural. Again, DC Comics and Marvel Comics. Alright, I guess DC and Marvel are ganging up on me. What else? Marvel Superheroes. Well, this is Marvel by themselves, obviously, unless they got DC in on Marvel Superheroes. What else they got? Superheroes. Again. This is all Marvel and DC. Legion of Superheroes. Who is that? That's DC. I've heard of that. Yep, DC Comics. Legion of Superheroes. Cracked Out Superheroes. Kosh Incorporated. I never heard of them. Must be an independent. Alright, but they're an independent and they got to say Cracked Out Superheroes. Why is Marvel and DC giving me shit over Captain Superhero when this Kosh Incorporated is doing Cracked Out? Did Marvel and DC fuck with Kosh over Cracked Out Superheroes? What else we got? Superhero Squad. I thought that was DC, but it turns out it's Marvel. Marvel is the main culprit behind this. They're fucking with me over Captain Superhero. You who have seen my Rant video series, any of the videos, or seen my MySpace page, know I originally wrote some Avengers scripts, and now I'm converting them to the Retaliators, my original super team that I made up. Nobody challenged me for the Retaliators. I guess nobody wants that because I guess they're not intelligent enough to figure out how to portray someone who retaliates as a hero, but it's easy for me. While I'm converting the Avengers to the Retaliators, I'm having to do stand-ins for all the characters. And this is Captain Superhero. He is obviously my stand-in for Captain America. But as you can see, he's not exactly like Captain America. In fact, he's not very much like him at all, except for the patriotic theme. And all you've seen is the picture, but I have his character development in my head, and trust me, this is not the Captain America you know and yawn over. He's based more on this guy. That is awesome. The artist who did this is a receiver like myself, someone I would like to get to know. And I would like to ask this person what they saw or envisioned that inspired them to do this. And I would also like for them, you, and all the public to know that this is what inspired this. Captain Superhero, they challenged me on Captain Superhero. Marvel and DC both challenged my claim for Captain Superhero because they said it was too similar. Marvel said it was too similar for Marvel to Marvel superheroes, and too similar to Superhero Squad. And so they challenged me. I had to fill out a bunch of damn forms to prove that, you know, Captain Superhero ain't got a damn thing to do with Marvel superheroes or Superhero Squad. Yeah, you know, and they knew, they was just bullshitting. They was just damn throwing the kitchen sink at me just to show me that theirs is the heavy hand, but I fucking did it, you know. And if they got more bullshit like that for me, I'll deal with that too, you know, because there's gonna come a day when the heavy hands will be mine, because I'm better than they are. And they're going to find out, and they're going to regret the day they didn't contract me. Good luck with Zach Penn, man. On his best day, he's not half the writer I am. I dream this shit up, man. This shit is sent to me. I am chosen. I am selected by the powers that be. Because they love me and they send me shit. In this warped, insane mind of mine, they send it. I'm a receiver. Yeah, I'm a receiver. I dream this shit. And it's good. And if I dream some shit that's half-ass, I'll fix the half part and make it full-ass. Retaliators. Retaliators are coming, man. They're going to start out in comic book form. And eventually I'm going to put out a animated version of the origin story. The origin story is called Innocent Blood, the origin of the Retaliators. Since in my screenplays, I never did do the origin story. I hinted around at the origin story in part 2. You know, I did like a flashback to the origin and in an alternate reality, so it didn't even match the actual characters. But it never came to me, and that's part of why this may be meant to be. You know, I know the origin story of the Avengers. Is in issue number 1. Hulk was set up by Loki, and the Avengers were going to take him in, and then they ended up realizing that he didn't do it and all that shit. And so, I know the origin story of the Avengers, but it never came to me. The screenplay version of it never came to me, and that could be because it's meant to be the Retaliators. And so I'm going back and doing the origin story of the Retaliators, and no longer bridled by the source material. I don't have to make it the same origin as the Avengers had. I can make up a completely different origin. Well, some parts of it has to be similar because I've made a lot of reference in my screenplays. I made a lot of references to the origin, so I have to make certain parts of it similar. But for the most part, you know, it's a completely different scenario. And all I'm really trying to do is save my screenplays, because my story is a story that needs to be told. I watch movies, you know, I'm not just a writer of movies, I watch them. And I don't see movies as good as what I've written. And my story has to be told. And unfortunately, it originally came to me in the form of franchise characters. I'm fixing that. And I'm rewriting the thing, I'm changing the characters around, and so it's completely mine. And there may be some similarities in there to some shit that happened in the Avengers comics. That's necessary. I'm changing as much of it as I can and still have the story hold together as it was originally written by me. And that means that I gotta leave some of the Avengers related stuff. Some of the stuff that happened in the Avengers comics, you're still going to see in my Retaliators movies, because I have to leave it in there in order for the story to stay the same. So I'm not going to do anything that they're going to say, hey, that's ours. You know, I'm gonna change it enough so that it was already different anyway. I'd already improved on their source material, so all I got to do is change a few things around, mainly the names, and I've got it. It's all mine. And whatever's similar, you know, it's just similar. It's not the same. I have seen Marvel movies with stuff in there that reminds me of the shit I wrote that I've been sending to them for 3.5 years. I had been I ain't sending them shit anymore. But I think they read my stuff. And I think they've copied some of it, which, that's fine, you know, because I'm gonna copy some of their shit too.
The Retaliators bust heads and say, I told you so.